We've all been there. A girl just crossed our eyes one day, and the time to come is just filled with nothing but us thinking about her the entire time. Whenever the word girl comes up anywhere in our everyday life, we vision her in our head, her very beautiful self popping up in our imagination, while knowing it better than anyone that nothing would come out of it. After all, we're just a random that she's a little too good for. Don't worry, mate. Happens to the best of us. Though don't underestimate the power of love, for its strains can bring the most incompatible of people together, bonding them in an unthinkable way. Them developing such an affection for each other that they never could have imagined, even in their wildest of dreams. Love is blind after all. Nothing exemplifies those very words, that very phrase better than these anime shows, where the true power of love shone at its very best, and love and affection was brought to life for a lot of us here in the real world. These are shows where the unexpected, the unimaginable scenario happens, since nowadays it's pretty rare to see couples like the ones these shows feature. So, let's stop underestimating ourselves, because in the game of love, anything and everything is possible, and dive into the top 10 anime where the popular girl falls for the unpopular guy. Number 10. Gleipnir. We've had our share of weird powers and quirks when it comes to anime. I mean, One Piece and My Hero Academia are full of stuff that at times make you wonder if those abilities will ever come in handy, even for a single time during the show's runtime. Well, Gleipnir might be taking the cake when it comes to strange and weird quirks, featuring a power that throws everything else out of the window. Getting transformed into a giant teddy sounds adorable, but Shuichi sure makes you believe otherwise. Now having Claire Owiki talking to him at school after that fateful encounter that they had the other day, people are sure to get jealous, considering Claire put next to Shuichi is just comparing a basement nerd to a Victoria's Secret model. You'll see that reference pretty soon. Not knowing anything about the origin or consequences of his own power, Shuichi is in a disarray, having no clue as to what to do. Teaming up with Claire as the duo set out for answers to the questions that have been in their heads for a while now. With Claire having her own motives, all those hardships and challenges are sure to bring them a lot closer, making their first actual encounter on the roof look nothing but a stage play. At number 9 we have Nourin. See, I told you there's a difference between obsessed fans and stalker creeps. Stop calling everyone a simp. Nourin tells the tale of Kasaku Hata, a guy who's the biggest fan of the idol Yuka Kasakabe and just can't believe reality when she announces her retirement completely out of the blue. He feels his world do a total 180 on him, and without having anything to look forward to in life, falling out may be the only option as he just isolates himself from the rest of the world. For some reason, I visioned the teenage girls in One Direction back from 2012 and 2013 doing the exact same thing when they disbanded, but that just might be me. Anyways, he's got some good chums who look after him and get him to come back to school. Going back to school has never been any better, for he sees his favorite idol, the very same Kasaka Hata, now under a disguise and an alternate name studying in his class. I know, this guy's the luckiest man to ever exist. Now having a lot of people rooting for him and him being serious about getting close to her, love is about to kick in and just draw both of them towards each other. Number 8. Chivalry of a Failed Knight. Never judge a book by its cover. Rank is just a number, and the post is just a title after all. Being called weak and the worst over and over again is sure to get you twisted on the inside, making you turn away every other human being out there. But sometimes things aren't that simple, and there's a lot that's in the shadows never reaching the light of day. Chivalry of a Failed Knight follows Iki and Stella as they have a rather embarrassing first encounter, one that make the best of us turn red in an instant. Though Iki, being the sole F-rated buster, is seen as an easy prey, so they both agree to settle things out with the duel cause the outcome seems pretty clear, right? But let's see how things go as the episodes go by. A princess who's also an A-rank blazer and the sole F-rank just can't be together. That's what everyone thinks, but the show comes up with something completely different. Number 7. Nogizaka Haruka no Himitsu. Being a weeb is hard. At times you're trying your hardest not to be seen as lame or a nerd.
Yeah, this is my Super Saiyan 1, my regular form. This is my Super Saiyan 2, and this is what I call Super Saiyan above a Super Saiyan.
Don't fret, for Haruka Nogizaka is with you on this one, and it's just another victim. Being in an all-elite school is hard, even harder if you're at the very top, someone who everyone looks up to and simps for the entire time you're there. In that situation, even if a boy who sits with you every day wouldn't want to get shot down, even if he had all the love in the world for you. But the more you get to know someone, the more you come to acceptance with the fact that everyone's human at the very end. Just another day in the library, Yuto Ayase sure sees something he can't unsee, and something that Haruka can't afford to let anyone else know, for it'll make her reputation go down the drain in a heartbeat. Now, knowing the biggest secret Haruka has, they sure are about to embark on a journey while writing their tale down for the generations to come. Number 6. Okami-San to Shuchinen no Nakamatachi. You thought the Pastime Club was weird? Think again. Never did anyone imagine a world where there would be loan clubs in school. With anime, anything is possible. The Otogi Bank offers assistance to anyone who seeks it at the cost of assistance by the seekers on a later date. The club isn't any buffoonery either, for the members are more than qualified and diligent enough to make sure they get their clients what they want. However, since most members are all female, they are in need of a male since apparently quote-unquote males are able to tackle harsh situations in a way better way. How wrong can they be? Marino Ryushi sure is about to have his plan backfire since confessing his love to Okami is about to make him a member of the club. But isn't that his win in the long run? He's about to figure out the blessing in disguise as time has a lot stored in for them. Number 5. Oregairu. Some people really have that face. We can't blame them though, after all they're born with it. But you know Hikigaya Hachiman really pushes it with that attitude that makes him forced into the volunteer service club. Two things that would never work no matter which timeline we're living in. Perfect punishment does exist. The only other member being the dazzling beauty Yoki Nishina Yakuno that makes the count 2 or 3 of things that just won't sit well with each other. Though there's a lot to discover, a lot of questions to be answered, a lot of mysteries to be solved when it comes to the two characters in addition to a bunch of others that join the fray as the show goes on. Oregairu tells the story of two completely opposite people who, as they come to know more and more about each other, going through all these situations themselves, draw closer and closer till they develop those feelings for each other. Number 4 is Witchcraft Works. Talk about role swapping. In real life at that as well. You know it gets really annoying if you're in a school that has a queen that's just in a league of her own. Having fan clubs comprising of both boys and girls. Ayaki Kaguya is living the life every girl out there wants. That sure makes things difficult for the guy who sits next to her, right? A lot of people eyeing him down despite him being on his best behavior. That kinda makes you want to transfer schools. Hanoka Takimaya is about to give up when he sees a building about to crush him to bits. That's exactly when the truth comes to light and the duo have their first conversation. Him knowing what exactly happened and us knowing who the hero and heroine will be for the rest of the show. Number 3. Accel World. Being obsessed with video games, doing nothing but sitting on your ass all day, every day. You come to acceptance with the fact that the only girls you'll be talking to will be the characters in the video game. Accel World is the perfect example of why you should never lose hope despite being in that situation. Haruyuki Arita is someone who's bullied for his appearance despite him being a literal guide at video games. However, no matter where you are, no matter how good you get, there's always someone better than you. Kuro Yukime, having beaten him at the game, invites him and introduces him to the Brain Burst program as like the closest thing we'll ever get to achieving Ultra Instinct. However, the real motive behind that meeting is that Kuro Yukime wants to uncover the secrets surrounding the program and wants Haruyuki's assistance in order to make that happen. It's not going to be easy at all, but they'll find something way more worthwhile along the way, themselves together. The runner-up for today's list is Gamers. Imagine this happening in real life. Another show featuring a game-obsessed character. This is becoming a stereotype, right lads? Well, Kita Amano sure agrees with us on this one, since the encounter with Karen Tendo isn't anything he ever could have imagined. Just overwhelmed by his knowledge and passion for video games, she invites him to the game club, and from that day onward, it's just unexpected encounters and situations that make the characters develop a medley of feelings, a storm of emotions for each other that for sure makes them question themselves. Number 1 for today's list is Rascal Doesn't Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. You gotta give it to this one right here. Coming up with an idea never shown before in any anime show out there, in addition to featuring that very setting. This is the best it gets. Bunny Girl Senpai takes us on a journey that's full of twists and turns, throws in all kinds of genre elements in there, keeping us at the edge of our seats all the time. Not to mention the characters are so well thought of, and the dialogue is so well written that it gives us a lot more than the cliche romance setting that we've been seeing all these years. The way Sakuta and Mai succumb to the mesmerizing feeling we call love is truly a thing of beauty, especially the way things end up in the end. We've all been there, finding ourselves crushing on somebody who we thought was out of our league. But if you built up the confidence, you'd be surprised of who will actually give you a chance. You win some, you lose some. But at the end of the day, what's important is that we all stay ourselves, and eventually, the perfect person will come along. I'm sure of it. That's all for today's video, my guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I wish you all a great day of watching anime.